I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow with Beyond the Scoreboard. Serious show, doesn't take itself too seriously, but the $1 trillion international sports business. This is All-Star Week, big week, British Open for the women. Senior British Open just finished, NFL training camps open. We are and have been at the MLS All-Star Weekend at Avaya Stadium in San Jose, California. All about the business of soccer, and it is a big business. There are big-time television contracts that have been signed, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ESPN2 in Canada, TSN, final year of a 6-year broadcast deal, Eurosport, 4-year deal with the MLS, and that's just the MLS here. Got 80 million soccer fans in the U.S., according to Scarborough Research. The average age, about 35 years old. MLS fans, Don Garber, the commissioner, you'll hear him. He's talking about how that's really good for corporate America. 20 big-time national partners, 15 soccer stadiums, Orlando, D.C., Minnesota, L.A., to be added, about $3 billion in total construction. Where the rubber hits the road, franchise values. The average value is about $157 million. That's up 52% in the last 2 years. Teams like the Seattle Sounders value about $245 million and $240 million in L.A. with a new expansion team as well. 20 years ago, 1996, after a 2-year successful growth after the 94 World Cup, there were 10 teams. Now there will be 24 by 2020. 12 cities in addition want expansion franchises, and Don Garber and his folks agreed that there may be up to 28 by 2025. We'll talk about all of those issues as well as the global marketplace. The MLS, 7th in global attendance. The league itself, 59 countries and on MLS rosters. But the bottom line, even more important than that, is it is an international game. We in America just playing in it. Don Garber seems to be growing the league, and the Avaya Stadium MLS All-Star Game is a testament to that. Rick Horrow, sports professor, be back with some specifics in just a minute.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
Right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $24.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $24.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Cancel the cable, cut costs, and get more.
Call now, 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Sometimes what you want most from your car is nothing. No headaches, no surprises, no anxiety when it's late at night and you're on some distant freeway in a thunderstorm. Owning a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz can be that anxiety-free experience on every level. You know you're in one of the safest and most thoughtfully engineered vehicles on the road. And with an unlimited mileage warranty, you can drive as far as you want for up to 3 years, with roadside assistance included. Your sense of confidence and adventure are as unlimited as the warranty itself. Now you can drive the car of your dreams and realize that nothing is everything. And during the certified pre-owned sales event, now through August 31st, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and 0.99% APR financing on select models, available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties. APR offer available only to qualified customers. Call 1-800-FOR-Mercedes for details about costs and terms.
I'm the sports professor, Rick Horrow. Welcome to Beyond the Scoreboard, a special MLS All-Star Game issue devoted mostly to the business of the MLS. Economic impact: 166 countries televised the MLS All-Star Game, and the new state-of-the-art team-owned Avaya Stadium was a direct cause of the earthquake's 75% increase in attendance year over year. We'll talk about those issues and more.
Rick Horrow, again, the every couple weeks mega events across the global landscape. Really can't get any bigger than this if you're a North American soccer fan. MLS started 20 years ago after the 94 World Cup. 10 teams, 24 teams by 2020, 4 more teams after that. The franchise value over $100 million. Don Garber, who we'll interview in about 30 minutes, 25 minutes, says that there are maybe 79, 80 million avid soccer fans. The average age is 35. We'll let him tell it. The bottom line is the MLS has a very interesting story. The men aren't going to the Olympics. The women are. There are a whole bunch of advantages. Soccer finished the Euro Cup, finished Copa America. This is an amazing time. But we're here in the middle of the Avaya Stadium for the All-Star Game, the MLS All-Star Game. And Dave Cavill.
Yes, thanks
Thank you very much.
It's great to be here.
I butchered the guy's name 45 times before we really started. Dave, the president of the Quakes?
Yes, absolutely.
And also the mastermind or the master implementer of this grand project here. Talk a little bit about this building.
Well, this has been transformative for the San Jose Earthquakes to have our own home.
Yeah.
We, for 40 years, were a professional soccer club, and we were a vagabond. We never had a home stadium.
Started in 74, right?
74, old NASL, great players, George Best, Johnny Moore, great history, but we never had our own home. Even back in 1996, when we had the first game in MLS history, here in San Jose at Spartan Stadium, we still didn't really have our own venue where we could control the fan experience and really showcase soccer in the way it's supposed to be played. And that's what we have here with Avaya Stadium. That's why we're so excited to host the world for the All-Star Week and just showcase what we've created here in San Jose.
And we're going to walk through, and you're going to show me some of the stadium
absolutely.
as well. So $100 million of private funding later,
right.
basically, is a stadium, HOK, populist design, and it is a unique soccer stadium. We'll go through the specifics of it, but it works, and that's the bottom line. It works.
It does, and I think what we did is we looked for the best elements of the great stadiums of the world. We went to the Bundesliga, we went to England, we saw the intimacy, the high rake of the seats, the fact that people wanted to be close to the action. We put all the actual premium inventory at the field level. We took some risks, but we actually created a great stadium and one that people have flocked to. We've sold out every game so far in our year-and-a-half history.
Our super-duper world guru executive producer, Paul Michael Ochoa, by the way, we call him Shaky. No, you better not, by the way. So one of the things of Facebook Live is it looks like we're having an earthquake. So far, we're steady. Yeah. But you're going to be evaluated at the end of this by how you walk backwards as we start this tour. You ready to go? I'm ready. All right, here we go.
Let's do it. Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
So how hard was it to get a ticket for the All-Star Game?
Well, it sold out in 4 minutes, and we had our season ticket holders got priority. But even after that, there was a ton of secondary market interest in the game. We have people, I just talked to a couple fans traveling in from Connecticut, folks coming in from Dallas. Arsenal rarely comes to the United States, so this is a huge event for world soccer here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, and the economic impact, you may not have a number. What's your prediction?
I think it's what they say on the order of $15 to $20 million for an event like this, because it's not just the game, it's the actual week of festivities, it's all the different people coming in, it's all the ancillary things, people create tourism. It's really a great thing.
All right, speaking of festivities, this is the world's longest bar, the solar system's longest bar.
This right here is the TCL 4K bar, the largest exterior bar in North America, over 300 linear square feet of bar space. We have the beautiful reclaimed redwood from Moffett Hanger, the Portuguese terrazzo stone, an amazing backdrop to watch soccer and experience the beautiful game.
That's great. And the beautiful game also includes beautiful alcohol. And I guess there's some rules relative to Reuters and everybody that I can't actually drink on television. So I'm just going to tell you, or Facebook or wherever we're on, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to do it now, but you owe me one. How's that?
You got it. Don't worry. I'll hook you up.
Deal. So, Congregation Point, we are about less... Sorry. I'm not drinking, I swear. We are less than an hour before kickoff.
Yep, absolutely.
And the place is rocking, obviously.
Yeah, people get here early. You know, that's one of the great things about this bar and this open side of the stadium is that people congregate and have an experience before the match.
Yeah,
we love it.
And is that a normal thing for how many home games?
We have 17 home matches that are MLS, and usually 1 or 2 bonus games. We played Manchester United last year, which was a huge event. Club America, of course, we have Arsenal against MLS All-Stars this year. It's really already been the epicenter of soccer here in California.
Just for people who are late tuners in, because we're picking up millions, I'm sure, Dave Cavell, president of the Quakes, inspiration of Avaya Stadium, and this is Facebook Live. I'm Rick Horrow. The bottom line also of the economic impact, we talked about it for a second, is the Bay Area and what it means.
Yep.
You see the stadium behind
Yeah,
us.
it's a great view.
So
great view.
It's an incredible year for the Bay Area as well. You had Super Bowl 50.
We did.
It's that Giants even year, so here we go again.
Yeah, probably get the World Series.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Sharks went to Game 6 and nobody expected it.
Yep.
The Warriors, well, disappointing, but the bottom line is they got Kevin Durant and they're ready for a new arena in downtown.
Yep.
How do you all fit into that picture?
Well, I think what's happened in the Bay Area recently is that we've created a lot of new sports fans. And so while this area maybe 10 or 15 years ago wasn't considered a sports hotbed like Boston or New York, it's actually becoming one. And I think the Quakes are a key part of that. We are the global sport, soccer. Our community is the most diverse community in the country. It's a perfect marriage, and that's why we're having so much success.
And Dave, how do you define the community? Because I guess you should argue that you're from Sausalito all the way down to Los Gatos and farther south, East Bay and beyond, so you cast a wide net.
We do. I mean, you look at our fan base, and we have people coming from Fairfield, Watsonville, San Mateo, San Francisco. So we really are Northern California's team, and the thing is there's millions of fans who love the Earthquakes.
Yeah. So let me tell you what's, for you millions of people out there who are now watching, let me tell you what's disappointing, is that we had a couple of people take pictures, stop and take pictures, and he thought it was for him, clearly, because that ego would be. I thought it was for me, but they're actually talking way past us on the field that's right behind us. That is disappointing. I hope it's going to change a little bit.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Okay. So let's go. What else? What else you want to show us?
Well, obviously this is the open epicenter side. This is where we have like our host location where Univision Deportes is broadcasting the game, which is very exciting. This is where we set up all our sponsor activations, everything like that. We're getting a live feed here. Mark Abbott, president of the league. We're on Facebook Live.
Here's what I want to tell you. This is to millions of people, and we didn't really want to have the lawyer here, but he just happened to walk up. This is Mark Abbott, who is a brain trust of Major League Soccer. He is Don Garber's right-hand guy. You would probably say that Don Garber's your right-hand guy?
I would not say that.
No, you would not. You would not say that.
Oh, definitely not.
I will say this. This guy is the most important guy in the MLS. I would not say that either, huh?
No,
all right. I have held a pay on that. Thank you, my friend. All right, I'll see you.
Mark. Reception.
Right that way, Mark. Yes.
So that's the bottom line. So Mark Abbott, the first thing he's asking, right, is where's the reception?
Yes,
that's
he was going to the reception. We have a great reception.
Yeah,
so.
I understand.
Some of the other really exciting things we have at the stadium is we have an open concourse. So as you walk along the concourse, you can see into all the action on the pitch at any time. And so that makes it a very open stadium. The fans are connected to the action, and it's something that's very unique in professional soccer.
Tell us about the Avaya relationship. How do you get them to lend their name, and is it working out for both parties?
It's been tremendous, because for us in Silicon Valley, we needed a technology partner who could actually make sure that this stadium was on the cutting edge and most state-of-the-art technology and fan experience. And what they've done is they've put a high-density Wi-Fi system in here where we've built an app that can do everything from ticketing to wayfinding to concessions, and it's really top tier, and our fans are demanding that. And if we didn't have that, I think folks in Silicon Valley would think we couldn't live up to kind of what we promised. And so Avaya has been a great partner for that.
Well, I guess you could argue it's an interesting one-upsmanship for fan comfort.
You're right.
Levi's, amazing state-of-the-art facility.
True.
I'm sure Joe Lacob and the Warriors are looking very carefully about what Avaya is doing here.
Yep.
And so everybody building on everything else to the benefit of the fans.
Well, some of the other things we're trying to do is with the iBeaconing technology. So we can go to sponsors and say, hey, people are going to walk by and they're going to get served a 7-Up ad or an Avaya ad or a Sutter Health ad based on their preferences and who they are. And that's something that's very unique and only that we're doing here at Avaya Stadium.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, this is Beyond the Scoreboard. Be back with our special coverage of the MLS All-Star Game in just a minute.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for prescription drugs? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get prescription drugs at huge discounts from Canada Drug Center. That's right, the most popular drugs for cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, arthritis, and many more are now up to 75% off. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices when you can get brand name drugs at the lowest price? Call today and get up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs. Never pay high prices again. Get the most popular drugs at huge savings from our Canadian and international pharmacies and fulfillment centers. No insurance? No problem. Prices are so low you do not need benefits or insurance to get all your prescriptions fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Order today and get free shipping. Just call 800-950-1180. Up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs and free shipping. Call 800-950-1180. That's 800-950-1180.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Tired of calls, levies, and liens from the IRS or hiring others who don't get the job done? Call Wall & Associates and you'll never talk to the IRS again. The IRS has a program to eliminate tax debt, and Wall & Associates professionals are trained to maximize its benefits for you. You always speak with a live person with real support and real knowledge. We've helped thousands of taxpayers like you settle their tax debt with the IRS for a fraction of what they owe. We solve tax problems. Call Wall & Associates now, 800-480-5708. We have the professionals who know how to solve tax problems. If you owe money to the IRS, your tax problems are not going away by themselves, and the passage of time will only make matters worse. Act now, before it's too late. Call Wall & Associates right now to speak to a professional tax relief agent. Call 800-480-5708. That's 800-480-5708. Again, 800-480-5708.
I'm the Sports Professor Rick Horrow. Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard, airing on-site coverage of last week's Major League Soccer All-Star Game. All aspects of the business, television, international growth, and youth dynamics. Specifically, how do you sustain not only the game today, but where it is in the future? More popular than baseball, they say, with the 12 to 17-year-olds, number 2 of all American sports. Well, let's see what they do to continue success.
Let's head down the concourse a little bit and see the action there.
All right.
By the way, this is Arsenal against the MLS All-Stars. And you see the people in Arsenal jerseys. Maybe they feel empowered, but you know, there were 3 guys who just walk right through you.
I saw it. We got to look alive. You
want to check out, see how close
you are to the field? This is our terrace area, which is really exciting, and we have grass in this area, which is nice.
Our first major production mistake by our almost executive producer, Paul Michael Ochoa.
Yeah, he's really good walking backwards.
He's doing really good.
He's doing really well. So yeah, the other thing you see here is just how close you are to the action. You know, our stadium is so intimate in terms of its construction and design. All the premium inventory was built at the field level. Okay. All the clubs, all the suites. It's basically like having court seats in the NBA, right on the action. And for fans, especially people who are just getting into soccer, they'll come and sit there and they'll realize these players are unbelievably athletic. They're quick, they're fast. Yeah, it's amazing.
Paul Michael, look, pan out here so you see how close this is.
And then we have the dual level video boards, you know, the fascia above and below, the video board above the scoreboard bar, which is incredible. The other thing we have is the 3 different shades of blue with the seats. We went with the mosaic seat pattern in the seats, which is very, very nice. And actually, we did a really Silicon Valley thing. We embedded a code in the seats. And held so it was a code, secret code, and we held a contest for 6 months, and we let the public come to see if they could break the code. And the code ended up being broken by a kid, 21 years old, San Jose State. Him and his father came to the stadium, and he realized that we had spelled out in red seats in binary script, "Go EQ!" exclamation point. And he won that, and we gave him 2 tickets to the next World Cup. So that was a great little Easter egg we threw into the stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Only in Silicon Valley would that kind of thing happen. That's brilliant.
It was fun. It was really a good promotion.
And by the way, I do really appreciate that in anticipation of a future JetBlue sponsorship, you colored the seats.
They're all blue. It's very true. It is very
JetBlue,
true.
if you're listening, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
All right, back in the concourse, right?
Back in the concourse. Oh. Wow. Well, look at this.
That's a pretty sophisticated
He's a contortionist. Contortionist. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, he dropped his glasses. Now he's shaking. All right, so we got him going.
We're going to make it through. We're going to make it through. Yeah, the other thing that we did is that we had a very steep rake of the seats. So it's a 34-degree rake, which is more similar to an actual arena than an outdoor stadium. So that means when you're in the last row, the 28th row, you still have an amazing view of the action. There's really not a bad seat in the house.
Right.
So that's something that people love about our stadium.
Total seating capacity?
18,000 is our seating capacity. And like I said, we sold out all our regular season games, and it's been a huge success.
Concerts, other events?
Right now we don't have a concert permit, but we're working with the city to get one. We've been doing a lot of rugby events, which have been super popular. We've been doing like high school soccer, for instance, which is really popular in the Bay Area.
Right.
And so we try to do as many events as possible. We even do we're having the Light the Night Walk, Leukemia Lymphoma Society, doing a fundraiser, so a wide variety of different things.
The advantage of this being a interesting, high-tech, outdoor, 18,000-seat venue in the middle of the peninsula, I would just say hopefully you get a permit, get some concerts in, right?
We want to, because I think it's going to be a great addition to the entertainment scene here in the Bay Area, no doubt.
We talked about it earlier in another context. Do you work actively with Sharks, the Warriors, the Raiders, the Niners?
We have a close relationship with all the pro sports teams. I mean, one thing I will say is that soccer fans tend to be their own fan. So they don't overlap necessarily as much with the other professional sports teams. So a lot of times they're just soccer fans.
Right.
And so we need to do whatever we can to make sure we reach them, connect to them in an authentic way, and make sure they have a great experience.
And your demographics, are your demographics mirroring the league demographics? I mean, they'll be...
You know, we're a little more family here, to be honest with you. Like, we still have a lot of millennials, younger fans, but we're probably 40-45% soccer families, which is big in the Bay Area. Yeah. So that's kind of the way it's worked out to date. And, you know, we've had fans, we have 41-year history, so it's worked out really, really well.
And what do you do to, and I'm going to ask Don this from the league level, but what do you do to inspire the next generation of soccer fans? Soccer academies?
We do. We have an academy all the way down to 12 years old. And so we have kids all over the Bay Area. I mean, a kid like Wando, our star player, got started in an academy here in the Bay Area. So we had young players. David Bingham, also in the game, Bay Area player. And so this area has great talent. What we've really been lacking always is infrastructure. We now have a Avaya Stadium. We're building a $40 million academy complex that will be done in 2 years, which will further cement our place at the forefront of development.
Where's that? Where's the stadium?
It's going to be about 3/4 of a mile from here, right by the airport. So it's going to be a great location. So we're really happy about that.
Awesome. What else do you want to show us stadium-wise?
Well, this is kind of an interesting area where the fans kind of bisect the actual players, and so they just walk across the concourse, so you can get super close to all the action of the fans and the players, and it's really a unique aspect of a Vive Stadium.
While we're looking at that, what other kind of design uniqueness? HOK Populous comes to you and says, we're going to build a soccer stadium, we know how to do it generically. How did you Quakeize it?
Well, we have one concourse. Okay. Most of the time you have multiple concourses. One concourse actually, especially if it's an open concourse, keeps it more open, lowers your cost, and really keeps it very simple and elegant. The other thing is we use this material, you can actually see it right now, the SPS. Yeah. So instead of precast concrete, which is a lot more expensive, we use the material called sandwich plate system, which is kind of like the deck of a ship. And it's very rigid. It means you don't need as deep a foundation. You save a bunch of money, but it's solid as a rock. And so that's another great way to use building techniques, design elements to create really a more efficient stadium. That's one thing we wanted to do. We didn't want to spend just to spend. We wanted to spend in areas where people cared, like the wood and the Portuguese stone and the things that people care about.
Right. Weather-related, hot, really hot in the summer. Here, it variable too, right?
Yeah, but variable. And it cools at night. So this game's in the afternoon, but most games are at night. By then, it's 70 degrees, perfect weather. People love being here in the stadium. It's just an absolutely perfect environment.
Did you look at other sites in San Jose? Was this the natural, logical place?
The only other one we looked at was downtown next to the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this one is that it's really a very nice location near the airport. We have transit, Caltrain, all these different things. So it's really good.
Perfect.
Let's get across. Let's move our way across. We're going to make it happen here. This is going to test our man to the limit. Yeah. But I know he can do it. He's
walking backwards into a crowd. Oh
my gosh, can he do it?
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's keep going.
Very important person walking backward. Important person walking backwards. Clear away.
So this is where the team walks by. This is kind of the area that crisscrosses. So it's pretty cool. Hey guys, how we doing? Yeah. And this is one of our team stores. We have 3 team stores on the concourse. You can see kind of back behind me, that's where the team comes out, which is really neat.
Yeah, get some perspective of that.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing.
That's
and
really
you get so close to the action. That's very unusual to have that in any stadium. So, really amazing. And when people come here and see it, they just really appreciate it.
We don't have to decide right now. Sir, aren't you the...
108, I'll see you.
You're the commissioner of the major... There you go. All right. He's here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So that's good.
The soccer don's in the building. So.
Just to give you some perspective on that, locker room facilities, administrative facilities.
Absolutely. So the first floor is all our team facilities, visitors and home locker room, training, gym. Second floor, executive offices, all in one place. We have our training pitch just stone's throw away here. So we have everything in one location. Works out great.
How long did it take to build?
About 18 months to build the entire stadium. So
I normally ask this of all the people we deal with. If you had to do one thing over, what would it be? Is there anything that you're...
I think actually in hindsight it would be better to have a little more premium inventory because we've been so popular. We have about 1,000 premium seats, but I think we could support more, and we may look at doing some things in the stadium, like in the corners, to support that over time.
Are you flexible enough to be able to convert
yes,
things?
We are, and the one thing we did is we tried to make it so we had a blank slate and we could attack different areas and change them over time to keep the stadium fresh.
Yeah, excellent. Cool.
And this is the beautiful redwood from Moffett Hangar.
Yeah.
That wood is 1,100 years old, the all reclaimed redwood. It's amazing. And that really softens like kind of the steel look of the building, right, and really creates a very unique Northern California feel to what we have here.
Do we have a weather warranty from the contractors on that?
Well, I will say it does need to be refinished quite often, especially if it's in the sun, as you can imagine. So,
Dave Cabell, as in Gavel, president of the Quakes. Those are all his fans. You think they're waiting for the players? They're actually waiting for Dave. How long have you been here?
6 years with the Quakes.
And took it from 2010. Was Avaya committed? Was the stadium already committed?
No.
All right.
No. So he was getting the financing, committing on the site, making sure we had all the approvals from the city, the PD permit, the zoning. So it was a long process to go through all those steps, and it was challenging. We had times we had setbacks. We had a neighborhood group that opposed the stadium because of noise issues, even though we're next to an airport and a train track. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, I know.
But we managed to get through all those things and really develop a beautiful stadium for this community.
And here's a leap of faith on Major League Soccer. So you start, this is a great nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
But stadium wasn't finished yet. The issue of where the MLS is going to be, you have to be a firm believer in the MLS in order to take that commitment 6 years ago.
100%. And to privately finance a $100 million stadium at a time where most of the venues had been publicly financed to that date, it really made quite a statement, not even just here, but across the league. That the league was here to stay, that people knew they were going to make these types of long-term investments, and it's a real credit to Don Garber, his team, and the other ownership groups in the league.
I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow with Beyond the Scoreboard, talking about all aspects of soccer at Avaya Stadium, MLS All-Star Game, the business of soccer.
And now, today's General Steel building tip. Buy a large lot with a friend or family member that can be split into 2 smaller lots. Some of the most appealing properties may be much larger than what you want or can afford. Yet the seller may not be willing to break up a large parcel. So if you can share the costs with someone else, preferably someone you don't mind having as a neighbor, you may be able to pick up a great building site for a reasonable price. And now, a word from General Steel.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-95-STEEL. 866-95-STEEL. That's 866-95-STEEL.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 877-663-7126 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 877-663-7126 to take your call now. Call 877-663-7126. That's 877-663-7126. Again, 877-663-7126.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow. Welcome back to our special Business of Soccer update, live Avaya Stadium over the weekend, and now reporting back. Obviously, no men going to the Olympics from the U.S. Rio soccer-wise, but the women not only dominating, but 25 million watched U.S.-Japan last year, the most watched women's sporting event in history. More to come to preserve soccer here and around the globe.
You know, the thing that's really important about this stadium is that this is one of 15 new stadiums around Major League Soccer. Orlando, D.C., Minnesota, and a new stadium in Los Angeles are also opening up. And so that's going to be in the next 18 months. After those 18 months, it's going to be new facilities, but $3 billion are committed to this. And so the bottom line of all of it is that you have stadium development processes going on, you have fan bases that are growing. The other perspective on this is that the average attendance has been up. It's gone up 56% since 2001. Attendance has risen about 29% over the last 5 years. There are more people that have gone to Major League Soccer games than NHL and NBA. Now, these are bigger facilities to be sure, but just to give you a little bit of a test case, the New York City FC sold 15,000 season tickets before they even kicked the ball. 52% of the MLS fans are aged 18 to 34, the highest proportion of any pro sports franchise. Two teams, the Seattle Sounders at over 40,000, and Orlando City at over 35,000. It's their second year in the league. Are both averaging more than 30,000 fans per game. So the attendance is pretty significant, and the fans are pretty significant. When you look at the numbers, the MLS is built for today as well as 10 years from now. Copa America, the Premier League, mega games, and as we said before, a little worried about Russia, the 2018 World Cup. See what the commissioner actually says about that. And of course, 2022, the event in Qatar, at least today, has been tarnished by the bid process and by the challenges with Sepp Blatter and FIFA and otherwise. But again, we'll have to see how that all shakes out. When you take a look at values, 20 years ago in 1996, the league started with 10 teams. Atlanta, Minnesota, Los Angeles committed, and maybe Miami. That'll be 24 teams by 2020, and they're talking about 4 more teams by the end of 2025 or more, and 12 cities, a few in Texas, Oklahoma City, others around the country, want MLS franchising. The average value, about $100 million. The deal today is you can have a minor league team in the USL for anywhere from $3 million to $20 million valuation as a step up. There are 22 national partners and 20 new owners since 2003. So we're not letting you off the hook. Dan Courtlamont is the PR director of Major League Soccer. He writes me a note saying that Don is wrapping up with a key coach.
U.S. national team coach Jurgen Klinsmann. He's chatting with him right now. He should be finishing up momentarily.
All right.
So Rick, probably about another minute, and we'll have you in there talk with the commission.
Dan, all I want you to do me a favor. Those 2 pieces of paper right there, those are my Don Garber questions. Thank you. Commissioner of Major League Soccer. How are you, Rick? Good. You ready to have an amazing event that rivals other big Bay Area events as well this year?
Sure.
It's been a heck of a year for the Bay Area.
Sure, it's been a good year for soccer here as well, Rick.
Yeah.
Copa America games, our All-Star game, a bunch of great San Jose Earthquake games, so it's been all good.
How do you feel about where the MLS is today compared to 20 years ago? It was easy. But
well, that's an
easy one.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Just dramatically different, almost indescribably different. Double the size, way more activity, more stadiums, more owners, more fans, better media coverage, better media contracts. Dramatic change.
The original conversations a few years ago, 24 teams by 2020. Now we're talking about 4 more. We have anywhere from 15 to 20 cities that want in at varying degrees of intensity. Got to feel good about it, and also from a practical perspective, got to raise the value of the expansion price ultimately, right?
It does, though. Honestly, I think there's no real focus on price for us, and I don't think it is even for other leagues. It's really the right owners, the right cities, the right stadiums, the right fan dynamic. You have to have proper pricing and costing in any business, and the costs are what the value should be and expected to be. So ultimately, that's the smart way to go about it. But the real priority for us is to ensure that we have good owners in beautiful places like Avaya Stadium.
And the other piece of this is you effectively are a seller's market, and you come into a perspective of a lot more cities and communities wanting your brand of soccer than 5-10 years ago.
Well, then a year or two ago.
Yeah, true.
So, every year it gets more and more important, more valuable, and, with the growth of the sport in our country and the growth of our league, really, I think as a driver of the sport, expansion is an opportunity for sure.
You see Forbes talking about a 52% increase in franchise value over a 2-year period, and now the average franchise nearly $150 to $200 million. What does that tell you? Is that accurate? Is that, regardless of the number, tells you that the asset you're cultivating is more valuable than it was before?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it speaks to all the metrics that drive value. Revenues from tickets, revenues from television contracts, merchandising, sponsorship, and all the things and ancillary events that go in and around the league. Value in almost any dynamic, unless it's an internet stock, is basically driven by business dynamics.
Unless it's internet stock. Now, Facebook Live, I know you guys have a relationship with Facebook as well. And I usually rebel against any media that my 22-year-old daughter knows more about than I do. But in this case, we're doing pretty well as far as Facebook and globally, et cetera. It makes us feel somehow inadequate to deal with the whole world of social media.
Yeah. We were out here for a couple of days. We met with Facebook, Google, and Apple, and did what you would expect league guys to do, which is to go out and be sure that we're connected in Silicon Valley. And you'd be surprised, Rick, there's just enormous interest in our league within the digital community. We are a league that indexes higher as a percentage of our fan base with digital mobile usage than any other league. We have been embedded in the digital community since the league started. So it's good to be here out in the Bay Area where that's so important.
World Cup 2 years ago, Women's World Cup, and tremendous numbers for the final against Japan. This year's Olympics, though no American team. Copa America.
No American men's team. Women.
No American men's team. Very sorry. Very important. Copa America, Premier League, all of those are building blocks. Any one more important than any other? How do you capitalize on all of them?
Well, it's a good question. I think, what our product is, it starts with MLS, our players, our fans, our stadiums, our media partners. But we're trying to build a soccer nation and a soccer continent in North America. And in order to do that, you have to have things like Copa America, and you have to have great World Cup clubs and nations competing. All the things that go into growing the sport, raising the water level. We got the most boats on that rising tide. So we're very focused on getting more people to just love the game.
Does the commissioner look better than I do? Because I just want to make sure that we're okay. We're good. FIFA issues, transparency, things seem to be changing. We don't have to get into the legal issues. Are you more comfortable with where that is than you were a year ago?
Very much so. For sure. They went through some real trauma, and there's been internal change. There's been external pressure to force that internal change, and we got a new president. FIFA, we have a new president. CONCACAF here in this region. Ultimately, I think it's going to be very, very positive in the future.
52% of the MLS fans are between 18 and 34. Your average age is 35. Young and a good base to build on. How do you continue that?
You continue to engage with the community that's coming into the game. That's very young. That's very millennial. But underneath them is a whole new generation of people who are growing up with the game even more so than their older brothers or their young parents have. So, there's a lot of wind in our sails demographically, and there's a lot of wind in our sails in terms of all the great things that are going on socially in our country that are going to empower us, I think, to be even bigger and better in the years to come.
If you were commissioner for a day and could wave you are. What's the one thing globally, not with your league, but what's the one thing in global soccer you would like to most change or affect?
Well, I don't even, honestly, Rick, there is no one thing. I think that if I had to sit back and say, if I were king, what would I like to see differently? I'd like to see the game modernized, the way decisions are made. We are part of a global enterprise, FIFA, and rules-wise, there's a group in Scotland that determines the rules of the game for the world. And I think many people think that because it is such a global game, everything needs to be the same. And I just don't believe that to be true. In America, we're a very tech-oriented society. I want to have microphones in the field. I want to have GoPro cameras on the referees. I want to show replay and have video review. I want to have all sorts of technology that the North American consumer is living with every day. And I don't really care whether or not that's what they're doing.
And your television partners want that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So to do everything as if there's one universal format, the world doesn't operate that way. It's going to change. Either somebody will force the change and break it apart, or if I'm them, I'll say, let's at least adapt to a changing global environment.
A couple more. George Mitchell had a statement and an announcement of his involvement in a new super mega event, Premier League model here. What's the nature of that kind of process? Is that going to work?
It won't work.
Yeah.
I've told that to the founders of the tournament. I have not met George, but it won't work. There's not enough room in the schedule. We have commitments to CONCACAF for their Champions League. We're trying to get closer to Mexico and play meaningful events and meaningful interleague play. We have no interest in participating in something that an organization puts together that's done upside down. So I don't believe it'll work, and I don't believe it'll happen.
Appreciate your candor. Where is the league in 10 years?
It's bigger, it's more popular, it's got a higher quality of play, it's got many, many more stadiums that are probably larger, many, many more teams and cities that are looking for their share, if you will, of the Major League Soccer experience. I hope I'm here to see it, who knows, but we'll see.
Well, I hope you're here to see it. You and Gary Bettman, are you going to outlast Gary Bettman as the longest tenured commissioner in world history?
I think you would know more than I do, Rick. I'm second.
You're second.
Gary's, 23 years or 25
Yeah, but you'll
years?
all be moving in the same. There's no way to close the gap, right? That's part of the problem. So, thank you, man. Okay, I really appreciate that. Don Garber doesn't get any better than that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this edition of Facebook Live. And not only is soccer growing here, but it's growing internationally as well. And even more important than that, as we head into the Olympics, on the women's side, and then the next World Cup and beyond, we'll be talking more about soccer in the coming months and coming years. I'm Rick Horrow, Facebook Live. See you next time. I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow with our coverage of the business of soccer, talking about bust, boom, and hope when we come back.
We all know healthcare has changed drastically. It's quite the puzzle to sort through your options and find a health insurance plan that's affordable and maximizes your benefits. And you're now required by law to have health insurance, or you may pay a tax penalty. So let the Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. They offer plans from over 120 different companies and can even help you obtain government subsidies. Let them do all the research for you and show you how affordable health insurance can be, a service that's at no extra cost to you. Call now and learn your options to find affordable health insurance. 800-614-1242. 800-614-1242. 800-614-1242. 800-614-1242. Health Markets Insurance Agency is a DBA or assumed name of Inspire Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is a licensed insurance agency in all 50 states and D.C. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service availability varies by state.
Attention, if you've had hip replacement surgery and suffered any complications, you need to listen to this important legal alert. Major manufacturers have made billions of dollars available to award legal claims for defective hip implants. Thousands of these defective hip implants have been recalled by various manufacturers. If you've had hip surgery and suffered complications, you may be entitled to receive significant compensation to help you deal with your complications. You may be eligible to receive money to help with medical expenses, lost wages, stitches and pain and suffering. Protect yourself by hiring an experienced trial attorney. Our partner law firms are experts in hip replacement surgery lawsuits. Find out now if you're eligible to receive any of the $2.5 billion hip settlement fund. Call now for free information. 800-296-1360. 800-296-1360. 800-296-1360. That's 800-296-1360.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 877-663-7126 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 877-663-7126 to take your call now. Call 877-663-7126. That's 877-663-7126. Again, 877-663-7126.
I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow. Welcome back to our special soccer coverage, MLS All-Star Game. So much more, though. Not only the business of soccer, but special events, public-private partnership funding, Avaya Stadium in San Jose. All of those issues come into play with a highly successful All-Star Week in San Jose, California. But now we do our normal bust, boom, and hope. The tragic, the good, and the hopeful in the economy. Starting with bust. The opening ceremony at the Rio Games, less than 2 weeks away, but less than half the buildings in the Athletes' Village have passed adequate safety tests. The Rio Organizing Committee said 12 of the 31 tower blocks in the village have been checked and proven okay. Yet competitors already begun moving into them. Numerous delegations complaining about flooded floors, broken elevators, and mold and holes on ceilings. And while the Rio president Carlos Nuzman said every Olympic village, because of their magnitude, needs some adjustments until it becomes perfect. The important thing is that everyone will be resolved before the games and everything as well. The Italian National Committee took matters into their own hands by hiring its own electricians, plumbers, and construction workers so apartments could be brought up to standard as soon as possible. Other countries even decided to pull their athletes out of the Olympics Village and Athletes Village. Some of the same stuff as Sochi, but we'll see if there's any difference a couple weeks from now. Boom. Sitting atop the AL Central, thanks largely to the recent 14-game winning streak, the Cleveland Indians see massive spike in attendance in business. Progressive Field certainly reaping the benefit of this business experience. And finally, hope. Michael Jordan's $2 million donation came as a surprise to many, but a pleasant one. The growing racial and social unrest around the country pushed Jordan to announce grants of $1 million each to two organizations that are working to build trust between law enforcement and the communities in which they work. Thanks to everybody for their involvement at the All-Star Weekend, an incredible success. David Cavell, Don Garber, Dan Courtlamanche, Mark Abbott, all the top senior guys at the MLS, very excited about showing off their hospitality. Very well deserved. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey, Olympics. A lot to talk about next week. Won't you join us when once again we go Beyond the Scoreboard?